Hi, everybody. Professor Denzer here. A few slides of this church in Denmark, Jorn Utzon. You might know as the architect of the Sydney Opera House. Fantastic building. But this is one of his other interesting works, and it's relevant for you guys at this stage for two reasons: to creative use of concrete. We'll see more of that on the inside. And also, it's a very interesting building in terms of the plan and section development. And that's a kind of theme this week as you continue to get to be a more sophisticated designer. I've asked you to kind of think more creatively about the building and section, and we talked about that with that short video on the house at Pompeii. This building kind of is not that interesting or attractive in from the exterior, in my opinion. It looks a little bit kind of industrial, and there's a repetitive use of the kind of boxy structure, and the precast concrete panels are very repetitive, and it's a little bit, um, like I said, industrial looking or cold. Although it's because Denmark is in the kind of Nordic region, the light here is very beautiful at certain times of the year. So here's a kind of look at it in that Nordic light. In plan, it's a really kind of boring building. It's a series of rectangles and not too much excitement there in the plan. But then look at the section below where there's really something else going on that you would really never expect from looking at the exterior or looking at the plan. This kind of free form, swooping, curving concrete ceiling that forms a very interesting shape over the main space of the church and some of the smaller spaces as well. So here's how that ends up looking on the inside. So this really kind of interesting dialogue between the rectilinear frame of the structure along the side of the building, and then this curving free form which reaches up into the sky and lets in light from above. Utzon had the concept here, the metaphor was of clouds, and he's certainly achieved that. Then look carefully at the curving concrete. If you can see the detail in the image here, it is board formed concrete, so it's made out of wood planks, and the texture and the the indentation in the planks is kind of revealed in the concrete, so it has an interesting surface texture as well. And so, in addition to this kind of dialogue between the square frame and the curving freeform ceiling, there's also a kind of dialogue, if you will, between the kind of factory made and the handmade. So the frame, the concrete frame, and the way it looks from the exterior, I said it looks kind of industrial because it's repetitive. The panels are very, they look like they came off an assembly line, and then this ceiling form is clearly handmade, and the board form texture gives it a different kind of character. So, just Utzon thinking very, very creatively here about the use of the material concrete, and it's all driven by an idea about daylight in the way that this skylight above floods this space below with light. Not much else to add here, but another look at how that is performing. And then here is a section perspective drawing. This is made by somebody else recently, kind of interpreting the building. Um, and so I just always love showing you guys good examples of graphics that can kind of stimulate you. And we looked at when we looked at the section box tool in Revit, we looked at how you might be able to create a drawing like this, which has section in the foreground and perspective in the background. Okay, so an example that might help you as you're thinking creatively about project number 3. Thanks.